significant milestone in the company's devices in Ghana. He says, based on its over 2 decades success in the information and communication industry, Huawei devices are transforming.
A trade and investment exhibition aimed at creating a platform for companies from the Hubei province of China to explore areas of collaboration with their Ghanaian business counterparts has opened in Accra.
The 4-day exhibition is purported to enhance the Ghana-China business relationship and also to open up business collaborative opportunities for both countries. As the world globalizes and the barriers are being broken, it is of essence that Ghana opens up and increase its trade opportunities through exhibitions in this nature. It is believed that through trade and investment, Ghana will be able to create wealth, reduce poverty and bring about prosperity to the people. According to the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Michael Akwesi Sapong, it is a healthy practice for every economy to, from time to time, assess and compare itself with an economy which is doing well. Responding to the concern that China has invaded Ghana economy coupled with the illegal Chinese miners, Mr. Sapon said the Hubei province of China and Ghana have signed a memorandum of understanding to make this exhibition an annual affair, and this is within the legal frame.
Ghana has declared its stance as far as our relationship with other countries are concerned, and so it is an area that we should be very cautious. The emphasis is on the fact that they have to trade legally, do things in the legal frame as far as the laws of Ghana are concerned. Ghana has not said that it will not encourage any foreigner to come and do business in Ghana, but rather if you are a foreigner or even if you are a Ghanaian and you are doing, it must be legitimate, and we are talking about legitimate businesses.
Some of the exhibitors also spoke to Joy News about what they are hoping to gain from this trade exhibition.
Most people in Ghana want to know the agricultures and foods, and maybe they want to sell the cocoa, the coffee, and other things in China. But Chinese people also want to take our products to here to let Ghana's people know what is real China's products.
Behind the scenes, there are collaborations going on, and that is one bit of what we hope to achieve. And secondly, to be visible, to showcase what we have, and hopefully get new clients for our services.
The two countries are hoping to be able to collaborate in the areas of light industry, furniture, household appliances, mechanical and electrical products, hardware and building materials, agricultural machinery, auto parts, shipbuilding and maintenance, power generation equipment, medical equipment, solar water heater and solar energy products, and many more.
Microsoft Chief Executive Steve Ballmer has confirmed he plans to release more devices. The Chief Executive's comments came ahead of a Windows 8 launch event in New York, following which Microsoft Surface tablet will go on sale.
The report says $29 billion was lost in the last decade in an apparent price-fixing scam involving the sale of natural gas. It also calculated the treasury losses of $6 billion a year because of oil theft. Nigeria is one of the world's biggest oil producers, but most of its people remained marred in poverty. The Petroleum Revenue Special Task Force report is one of several commissioned by the government and follows an outcry after a parliamentary investigation uncovered a massive multi-billion fuel subsidy scam. Earlier this week, a campaign was launched to clean up Nigeria's oil sector. It was led by Patrick Delico, a politician from the oil-rich Niger Delta region, who said that 90% of the stolen oil was redefined in Eastern Europe and Singapore.
Good evening, my name is Rashidat Kadiri with the latest in the world of sports. Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah says Ghana's Africa Cup of Nations group, which contains DR Congo, Niger and Mali, will not be easy, but is optimistic of progressing to the next stage. The Black Stars, four-time champions, will aim to end their 31-year wait to win the tournament, but must first navigate their way out of Group B to have any realistic chance of title number 5. Ghana's first game in Group B will be against Democratic Republic of Congo in the South African city of Port Elizabeth on January 20th. Followed by fixtures against Mali 4 days later and Niger on January 28th in Port Elizabeth. The two teams that advance from Ghana's group will play the winners and runners-up from Group A, which is made up of South Africa, Cape Verde, Morocco and Angola in the quarterfinals in Port Elizabeth and Durban. The tournament will run from 19th of January until 10th of February and will be hosted in the cities of Johannesburg, Durban, Port Elizabeth, Nelspruit and Rustenburg. Meanwhile, Ghana captain Asamoah Gyan has told his teammates not to underrate the 2013 Nations Cup group opponents. The Black Stars drew DR Congo, Mali and Niger in Group B on Wednesday night in Durban. Ghana's first match will be against the Leopards and then play Mali's Eagles before engaging Niger. The Al Ain striker wants the Black Stars to tackle each of their matches seriously to avoid any surprises at the tournament. Gyan was appointed substantive captain on Monday by head coach Kwesi Appiah. Now, still on the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations, Mali coach Patrice Carteron believes Ghana will be the team to beat in Group B at the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. The Frenchman took charge of the Eagles in July this year, and he will be making his debut in the continent's flagship event. Carteron's side played Ghana on 24th of January in Port Elizabeth in a repeat of their group match at the last edition early this year. Mali lost 2-0 to the Black Stars in Franceville, Gabon, but progressed and avenged the defeat with the same scoreline to pick bronze. Carteron retired from active football in 2007, having played for Stade Rennes, Olympique Lyonnais, Saint-Etienne and Cannes. He also spent a brief spell at Sunderland in 2001. Carteron coached French side FC Dijon from 2009 until his dismissal in 2012. Now, there are matches ongoing in the UEFA Europa Champions League, and some results as at the time of coming on air. At Anfield is Liverpool 1-0 against Anzi Makachkala. Young Boys are up by a goal to nil against Udinese at the start. The Swiss Vangtov. Atletico Madrid are 2 goals up against Academica Coimbra. Hapoel Tel Aviv are losing at home by a goal to 2 against Victoria Plzen, and Ghana Black Stars right fullback John Paintel is there in action. Borussia Mönchengladbach 2, Marseille 0 at the Borussia Park, and we have the Ayew brothers, Andre and Jordan, in action for them. Newcastle United 1, Club Brugge 0, Steaua Bucharesti 2, Molde 0, VfB Stuttgart 0, FC Copenhagen 0. We have Dnipro 3, Napoli 0, and Dnipro has got Samuel Inkum and of course Derek Boateng. PSV Eindhoven 0, AIK Group 1, Racing Genk 2, Sporting Lisbon 1. We have Levante 3, FC 20 and Enschede 0, Helsingborg FC 1, Hannover 96 0. Actually, it's Helsingborg 1, Hannover 96 2. Those are the latest results coming from the Europa League ongoing in certain countries. And that will do it for sports for tonight. Coming up, international news with Israel Live.
International News is brought to you by Global Lighting Center, your solution to quality lighting.
EcoBank, the rhythm of Africa.
The leak report into Nigeria's oil and gas industries revealed the extent of mismanagement and corruption that is costing billions of dollars each year. The report, seen by the BBC, was commissioned by the oil minister in the wake of this year's fuel protest to probe the financial side of the sector. And now, never mind, we're bringing you the story twice.
The report says $29 billion was lost in the last decade in an apparent price-fixing scam involving the sale of natural gas. It also calculated the treasury losses of $6 billion a year because of oil theft. Nigeria is one of the world's biggest oil producers, but most of its people remained marred in poverty. The Petroleum Revenue Special Task Force report is one of several commissioned by the government and follows an outcry after a parliamentary investigation uncovered a massive multi-billion fuel subsidy scam. Earlier this week, a campaign was launched to clean up Nigeria's oil sector. It was led by Patrick Delico, a politician from the oil-rich Niger Delta region, who said that 90% of the stolen oil was redefined in Eastern Europe and Singapore.
South African unions and gold mining companies have agreed a deal aimed at settling a bitter, long-running dispute. The National Union of Mine Workers and two other unions signed the pay deal with the industry body, the Chamber of Mines, but few details were released.
It was unclear whether the deal would satisfy thousands of striking workers, many of whom have been dismissed after their action was ruled illegal. The strikes have slashed production and cost the country millions of dollars. Strikes in the platinum and coal sectors, which are not covered by the agreement, have also raged for weeks. More than 40 people died in violent clashes between police and striking workers at a platinum mine in August. The National Treasury said on Thursday that strikes across the mining industry had cost the country's economy 10 billion rand, equivalent of $1.1 billion. Unions and employers gave few details of the agreement. NUM spokesman Lisiba Seshoka said the deal represented a 10.8% wage increase, but did not specify which workers would be affected. The mining industry also welcomed the deal.
Syria's army command has said it will suspend military operations to mark the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha, declaring a ceasefire from Friday morning to Monday. But the army said in a statement on state television on Thursday it reserved the right to respond to rebel attacks and bombings.
The statement said the military would also respond to terrorist groups trying to reinforce their positions by arming themselves and getting reinforcements, as well as neighboring countries facilitating the smuggling of fighters across borders during that period. Just after the government's announcement, the commander of the opposition Free Syrian Army told Reuters news agency that fighters will commit to truce, but said the opposition demanded the release of prisoners on Friday. The truce was brokered by Lakhdar Brahimi, the UN Arab League envoy, who said that the 4-day ceasefire would lead to a longer truce and political negotiations between the sides. What's interesting about this ceasefire is that it's more of a gesture, a positive gesture from both sides on the ground to show good faith in Brahimi's mission. Brahimi has crisscrossed the Middle East over the past 2 weeks to push the warring factions and their international backers to agree to the truce, a mission that included talks with Syria's President Bashar al-Assad in Damascus at the weekend. Both sides have violated previous ceasefires after agreeing to them. Activists say more than 35,000 people have been killed since the uprising against Assad began in March 2011.
Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron says the country will continue to defy a European court ruling saying prisoners must be given the right to vote. This was despite a warning from the Attorney General that Britain's reputation would be damaged if it did not respond to the ruling.
Dominic Grieve said the UK had a legal duty to implement the judgment. However, he stressed there was flexibility in how the UK chose to respond which wouldn't necessarily mean giving more prisoners the vote. Most coalition MPs and Labour oppose giving prisoners the vote. Cameron said he was happy to offer MPs a further Commons debate to help put the legal position beyond doubt. The European Court of Human Rights has ruled that a blanket ban on voting for anyone sent to jail is illegal, and the government has until the end of November to decide how to react. The UK has been on a collision course with the European Court of Human Rights since the Strasbourg Court ruled in 2005 that it was a breach of human rights to deny prisoners a vote. The court ruled it was up to individual countries to decide which prisoners should be denied the right to vote from jail, but said a total ban was illegal.
Now on to showbiz. Imagine being at a place where you can actually experience how Ghana's oil is drilled and get to see some of your favorite science fiction movies or cartoons and some good old folkloric music. You don't have to stretch your imagination that far because the Adventures in the Diaspora and Friends of the Museum are making this a reality. They are putting together a beautiful blend of music and science on one big platform, the Science Museum, tomorrow evening. Showbiz has more on this.
The Adventures in the Diaspora and Friends of the Museum acknowledge the important contributions museums make to telling the story of a people's history. Museums are often popular among tourists, but obviously here in Ghana their patronage is low. But the Adventures in the Diaspora and Friends of the Museum are hoping to change that trend as they promise a new museum experience.
We are appealing to the whole general public, especially corporate bodies, to come to the aid of the Science Museum to be able to build a functional science museum for our children, because they are our future. And if they're able to come to support the Science Museum, we'll be able to build a better Ghana for our future generation.
A special fundraising dinner dance is being organized to bring history and art lovers, as well as those who wish to support a worthy cause, to one gathering to enjoy some of Ghana's best folk songs while they contribute towards reviving the Museum of Science and Technology here in Accra.
It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be a great opportunity for people to come and see the museum, since a lot of people have never been to the Science Museum before or even know where it is. So it's going to be a great time. It will be in the amphitheater and in the courtyard, so you can kind of see where some of these videos are going to be played using the AV equipment that the money is going to go towards.
Renowned highlife artist Pat Thomas is among a list of musicians expected to spice up the night.
They just consulted me and I said, I feel I have to help because it's for a good purpose, you know, to let the place function the way it should be.
So don't miss out on this opportunity to have fun and pick up some pointers about Ghana's science history.
The atmosphere is politically charged and the parties inundated the electorate with promises, policies and pledges. The goal to win your thumper. But are they real or far-fetched? Manifesto Digest will dot the lines, pull off the gloss to gauge the election promises as whereas they are and mark it against the records and performance indicators. Manifesto Digest is another product from the staples of Joy News, your election headquarters for the December polls. Manifesto Digest starts Sunday, 28th October at 6:30 p.m. here on your Joy News channel. This program is supported by Star Ghana. Biz stories. Well, Snoop Dogg is on showbiz. Let's see the story.
Bang, bang. What's seen is what's saw, dog is the law. I had you niggas.
If you're used to Snoop's sexually suggestive lyrics, which are a common feature in his songs, then get ready for a new Snoop experience. The rapper has toned down his explicit lyrics for his new reggae album, Reincarnated. It appears he's making a whole lot of sacrifice for his conscious look, as he has dropped the D-O-G-G attached to his name and opted for Lion. And believe it or not, he does some singing too on the Reincarnated project. He told etonline.com, quote, "I'm kind of watching what I'm saying. Before, I never had to watch what I was saying because I didn't give an F, because it was coming from my heart. I was speaking from a young adolescent who was an ex-gangbanger, ex-drug dealer. I was speaking what I thought was best at the time, which was what I was going through. But as an older man, I have to speak on things that make a difference and things that matter, using my power the right way to say something," unquote. The star, whose real name is Calvin Brothers, also said he's found a new positive attitude and now wants to spread a different message with his music because the world needs positivity, like music that feels good. I guess we just might like the new Snoop, that is, Snoop Lion.
My name is Israel Lion. Thank you very much for staying with me for the entire duration of the bulletin. But right now we go over to PM Express, where Stephen Anti is standing by. So tonight, Steve, what's coming up on PM Express?
Israel, tonight we'll be digging into the recent allegation of bribery that appears to have engulfed the Electoral Commission. I will be asking questions as to whether the commissioner could have been compromised and whether it's time to say bye-bye to Dr. Afarijan.
All right, thank you very much. So the compromise of the commissioner, in quotes, that's coming up on PM Express tonight with Stephen Anti. That's right after this bulletin.